Hi, and welcome to my channel. This is the second video in a series of three where I talk about consciousness and our identities. And this video will be more about genders and our society. In the previous video, I want to sum up the previous video. In the previous video, I talked about the concepts of yin and yang as underlying forces that govern our life. I defined life as a series of changes. It's a very broad definition, but then every change is possible only with involvement of yin and yang, receptive and giving part, receiving and giving, passive and active. Um, and I questioned our belief, our identification with bodies. This is the first thing we identify with nowadays. On the example of sandwich, I showed that it's very hard to draw a border between you and external reality. The claim of the last video was that we are not our bodies and we are way more than that. In short, and you've heard it many times, that we are everything that is around us, but it's very hard to relate to this unity consciousness without experiencing it, as in everyone is saying that you are everything and you are not your body. But what it actually means. Look around you now, and everything you see is you, and you are being trapped in the belief that you are somewhere inside of your body because you've been told since childhood that it's you. In fact, you are not your body. Your body is inside of you. You are everything that is around, including your body, including I'm sitting on a table, this fence, the sky above me. Everything is me because, for example, if I look at this bottle exists only because I look at it, because I am the process of looking at the bottle, and I am collection of all the sensations, all the sounds, everything that is around me, and I perceive it instantaneously in the present moment, because past and future doesn't exist. But why is it so hard to relate to unity consciousness? Is because we are heavily dressed up in our roles. We have tons of masks on ourselves, and first of is that our body that I questioned in the previous video, showing that it's hard to find a limit where your body ends and something else starts. In this video, I would like to talk about our first mask that we identify with when we grow up, and it's our gender. We all are born either into male or female body, and from yin and yang perspective, it's masculine and feminine forces. Yin is feminine, so the girls are supposed to be more in, more receptive, more caring, more passive, while boys are expected to be more yang, expressive, dominant, and active. But we have everything around our like every process is life around us. Everything that surrounds you right now has both yin and yang. That means you have both yin and yang. And suppressing one of those energies imposes trauma and eventually suffering. What I'm trying to say is that this balance between yin and yang causes suffering, is the root of suffering. And to stop suffering, you need to bring them into balance. To bring yin and yang into balance, you have to be in the present moment and stop identifying with your body, hence with your gender, hence with all the roles you play. But we grow up, and as first we separate ourselves from our parents when they tell us you since the childhood, and they point at us, and we start thinking that our body is me or you. That first identification comes with our body. Then they tell you you are a girl, and they explain things about your body, that you're a girl because of this and that, and you are a boy because you have specific body parts. And they dress up you a certain way, and then you go to school, and in school, obviously, there is a separation between boys and girls, usually is it is assumed that boys and girls are different already. It is already assumed that we are in our bodies. So the school preconditions us to being plugged into society. As we grow, we pick up more and more functions that are supposed to are supposed to um, are supposed to align with our roles as a woman or a man. And of course, there are natural tendencies of our bodies. That's why women, by nature, are more in because of the hormone system and because of the cycles that we have, and men are more young because of the testosterone that drives their behavior. But it's hard to say that we are purely in and purely yang. So as we grow, we enter society and we start playing all these games. We get our jobs, we get education, we start families, and there you become a mother or a father, and you become a parent. And on top of it, you are a professional, and then you pick up tons of hobbies. Um, and the hobbies also are very much defined by your gender. So gender identity underlines so many things in our lives, hence creates a lot of yin and yang disbalance. So we live in capitalist society nowadays, and capitalism is based on assertiveness, productivity, value, action, result, dominance. These things are rewarded. So in energy is not valued as much, or valued not in a way it should be valued. You are not getting paid for being passive, unfortunately. Well, you can always argue that, but the mainstream the mainstream trend is that you are being paid for being productive, and we all are going crazy about being productive, bringing results. So capitalism um, supports yang energies and punishes yin energies. But when we look at the cross section of genders, it becomes very interesting, because historically men and women were plugged into the society according to their genders, as women being more caregiving and then men being more productive again, which is fine. um, this is defined by their biological characteristics as well. So women were plugged into society as supporters or in type of workers and in type of creators, let's put it this way. And men were plugged as producers, as defenders, young. Society evolved from feudalism, where the work was in very close in the proximity from your home, so all the work was done around your house, and it was natural that women were taking care of kids and cooking while men were working in fields. But with industrialization and arrival of technology, the work has moved from home to remote places, and now all of us are expected, well, first of all, men moved to work remotely from their homes. It's funny because this remote work term can be seen right now the opposite way. So men became those producers, those who create wealth and take care of the entire family financially and providing resources, while women were emotional laborers, caregivers. What happens right now is that women also are expected to work along with men, because equality, we are striving for equality in society, which is hilarious, because the only equality we should strive for is the balance between yin and yang. That creates less suffering and harmonizes the entire process of life. So women are expected to work and be as productive as men. At the same time, they are still expected to be in at workplaces. good communicators. They should be middle worker. They should be good at resolving conflicts. They should be understanding. And when woman becomes assertive, it's punished. They are getting punished for being more assertive because they're called too much. So when a woman shows her yang energy that she has inside, she's being punished for it. Same comes with man. A man is expected to be assertive, dominant, and if somehow they show their in and passive side or receptive side, or they're being too sentimental, they're being punished and are called too weak. So capitalism as a system is completely disbalanced. Some might argue purposefully because it keeps us plugged into the system. It's very hard to leave the system because to leave it, you have to disidentify yourself with so many things, including your gender roles and your gender identity. On top of it, women are plugged into capitalism as in consumers. If we look at men as being producers in the economy, women are consumers. So yang is producing, in is consuming, which should be fine. But knowing that men and women are not pure yin and yang, it's creating chaos, it's creating suffering, because women are being fed with beauty standards and they are sold in products to stay beautiful, to stay attractive. And if you don't wear makeup or you just don't take care about your appearance that much, you are called messy, or having some mental illness. Women have to stay desirable because that's what a true woman should do. And it shouldn't show the assertiveness, it shouldn't be too direct. Well, right now, we see a lot of radical women movements and radical feminism as a response to the suppressed yin energy, to the suppressed yang energy. To sum up, I want to say that capitalism wants women stay in yin energy because it wants them consume, and men stay in more yang energy because it wants them to produce. Being unplugged out of the system disconnects you from many social trends. From you are risking to be judged by so-called normal people for not for being weird, or for being too radical, or for being crazy, or for being too traditional. Whatever labels that people can put on you just because you don't want to play the roles that you've been assigned and show your true nature of balanced yin and yang energy. It becomes it becomes quite challenging, and I guess many of us can relate to this. The importance of embracing your assertiveness if you're a woman, and your um, sensitivity if you're a man, is sort of a life goal, because we are eventually not men and women. We are existence, we are life, and we have both yin and yang in us. And depending of what is given to us genetically and what has been programmed to us genetically, we have a specific ratio of yin and yang. We have to understand these things and stop identifying with the roles and scenarios of life that we have been assigned, because the only interested entity, I don't know, it's only the system who is interested in you having a predefined scenario of life, of going to school, then educating yourself, then um, getting a family, then having kids, and then retire. You you're supposed to stay on that path. You're supposed to have this balanced yin and yang. You're supposed not to find your true nature. You're supposed not to realize that you are not your body. You're supposed to be worried about the future. You're supposed to worry about your future, because you might not be able to follow the scenario and then everyone's going to judge you. You're supposed to worry about your past, because in the past you've been called this and that, and you were not allowed to play football if you were a girl, or you were not allowed to enjoy ballet if you were a man. All of this is pretty sad. At the same time, if you're watching this video, it's a good chance to start thinking about where in life you are plugged to the system to this extent that it's hard for you to stay in present moment, that it's hard for you to stop thinking about how you look, or how much space you take in this room, or how dominating you are, or how attractive you are, and just be. Because you are not in your body, you are everywhere. Your awareness is existence. Whatever you see around exists only because you direct your awareness to it. Um, Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on my third video that will be more about how to step in unity consciousness. I will give practical tips, and I'm sure you've heard all of that stuff because you came up with this video, and I'm just starting this channel. So, but give it a try, and please subscribe to my channel. I really enjoy spending time recording this video, and I hope you enjoyed the time watching this video. And I see you soon. Bye bye.